11th polity. A constitution is a body of fundamental principles according to which a state is constituted or governed. Functions of constitution: to provide a set of basic rules that allow for minimal coordination amongst members of the society. Second function is to specify who has the power to make decisions in a society. It decides how the government will be constituted. If Parliament has the authority to enact laws, there must be a law that bestows this authority on Parliament in the first place. This is the function of Constitution. To set some limits on what a government can impose on its citizens. These limits are fundamental in the sense that government may never trespass them. Example, fundamental rights. To enable the government to fulfill the aspirations of society and create conditions for a just society. The DPSC also enjoin, that is, instruct government to fulfill certain aspirations of the people. Fundamental identity of the people. This means the people are a collective entity come into being only through the basic constitution. It is by agreeing to a basic set of norms about how one should be governed and who should be governed that one forms a collective identity. By agreeing to certain basic norms and principles, one constitutes one's basic political identity. Constitution also gives on a moral identity. Many basic political and moral values are now stored across different constitutional traditions. The authority of a constitution. In most countries, the constitution is a compact document, but in some like UK, they have a sense. They have a series of documents and decisions that, taken collectively, are referred to as the constitution. So, we can say that constitution is the document or a set of documents that seem to perform the functions mentioned above. Making a constitution effective depends upon many factors. The substantive provisions of a constitution. It is the hallmark of the successful constitution that it gives everyone in society some reason to go along with its provisions. The more a constitution preserves the freedom and equality of all its members, the more likely it is to succeed. Balanced institutional design. Well crafted constitutions fragment power in society intelligently so that no single group can subvert the constitution. One way of such intelligent designing of a constitution is to ensure that no single institution acquires monopoly of power. This is done by fragmenting power across different institutions. The Indian Constitution, example, horizontally fragments power across different institutions like the legislature, executive, judiciary, and even independent statutory bodies like election commission. This ensures that even if one institution wants to subvert the constitution, others can check its transgression. Another important aspect of intelligent institutional design is that a constitution must strike the right balance between the certain values, norms, and procedures as authoritative and at the same time allow enough flexibility in its operations to adapt to changing needs and circumstances. Too rigid a constitution is likely to break under the weight of the change. A constitution that is, on the other hand, too flexible will give no security, predictability, or identity to a people. Successful constitutions strike the right balance between preserving core values and adapting them to new circumstances. How was Indian Constitution made? Formally, the Constitution was made by the Constituent Assembly, which had been elected for undivided India. It held its first sitting on 9 December 1946 and reassembled as Constituent Assembly for divided India on 14th of August 1947. Its members were elected by indirect election by members of the provincial legislative assemblies that had been established in 1935. Constituent Assembly on a recommendation of the Cabinet Mission. Seats in the ratio of 1:1 million. As a result, the provinces that were under the direct British rule were to elect 292 members, while the princely states were allotted a minimum of 93 seats. Distribution: Muslim, Sikh general in proportion to their respective population. Members in the provincial legislative assembly elected their own representatives by the method of proportional representation with single transferable vote. The method of selection in case of representation of princely states was to be determined by consultation or nomination. Composition of the Constituent Assembly. As a consequence of the partition under the plan of 3 June 1947 or Mountbatten Plan, those members who were elected from territories which fell under Pakistan ceased to be members of Constituent Assembly. Thus, number reduced to 299, of which 284 were actually present on 26/11/1949 and appended their signatures to the Constitution as finally passed. Members of all religions were given representation in addition The assembly had 26 members of the scheduled caste. Congress dominated assembly by accepting as many as 82% of the seats. The principle of deliberation. Deliberation means long and careful consideration or discussion. Only universal suffrage provision was passed without any debate. Public reason. The members of the assembly placed public reason. The members of the assembly placed a great emphasis on discussion and measured argument. The very act of giving reasons to others make you move away from simply a narrow consideration of your own interest, because you have to give reason to others to make them go along with your viewpoint. Procedures. The Constituent Assembly had 8 major committees on different subjects. Usually J.L. Nehru, Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Patel, Maulana Azad or Ambedkar chaired these committees. The Constituent Assembly met for 166 days, spread over 2 years and 11 months. Its sessions were open to the press and the public alike. The objective resolution. The objective resolution is the resolution that defined the aims of the assembly. So the objective resolution moved by the Nehru in 1946. This resolution encapsulated the aspirations and values behind the constitution. Based on this resolution, our constitution gave institutional expression to these fundamental commitments: equality, liberty and democracy, sovereignty and cosmopolitan identity. Thus, our constitution is not merely a maze of rules and procedures, but a moral commitment to establish a government that will fulfill the many promises that the nationalist movement held before the people. The main points of the objective resolution. India is an independent sovereign republic. India shall be a union of erstwhile British Indian territories, Indian states, and other parts outside British India, and Indian states as are willing to be as part of the union. Territories forming the union shall be autonomous units and exercise all powers and functions of the government and administration except those assigned to or vested in the union. All powers and authority of the sovereign and independent India and its constitution shall flow from people. All people of India shall be guaranteed and secured social and economic and political justice, equality of status and opportunities, and equality before the law, and fundamental freedoms of speech, expression, belief, faith, worship, vocation, education, association, and action subject to law and public morality. The minorities, backward and tribal areas, depressed and OBC shall be provided adequate safeguards. The territorial integrity of the Republic and its sovereign rights on the land, sea, and air shall be maintained according to the justice and law of civilized nations. The land would make full and willing contribution to the promotion of the world peace and welfare of the mankind. Provisions borrowed from the British Constitution. First past the post system, parliamentary form of government, rule of the law, speaker and his role, and the law-making procedure. From USA, Charter of the Fundamental Rights, power of the judicial review and independence of judiciary. From Irish Constitution, DPSP. From French Constitution, principles of liberty, equality and fraternity. From Canadian Constitution, a quasi-federal form of government, a federal system with a strong central government, idea of residual powers. Chapter number 2 on democracy. A democracy must ensure that individuals have certain rights